last column is Anunasika. Anunasika means it uses the nose as well as that rows, that lines respective sthanam. Each line has a sthanam. This first line has kantha, second line has kalu, so on. So the last column, in addition to this kantha, the first line, this one uses the nose also. So in English you can say like something like or in English like English only. For example, English. So this sound ing, that sound is this English. Like Sanskritam, it will be like anga. I'm putting this as a anga. This can be also written as, writing could be like this, but pronunciation is same. Either you write it like this or write it like this. Both are same, because here we are indicating this nga is a Vyanjanam, and Vyanjanam followed by this ga. So anga.
Okay, thank you.
And this one is also a bit confusing for some. Ya is pronounced like anja, like Anjani. Yeah, Anjani. Like this. So before ja. So like angel in English. Angel. So before this ja, what we pronounce angel, because angel or or conch, like a conch. Conch. Is there?
Yeah, Mahodaya, Gnana is this Gna, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The jnana, so there, jnana and yajna. Right? So this is which is written like this, which is basically the symbol is like Devanagari symbol is like this, but what is it? It is actually ja and ya. Ja and ya. So this is written as ya. Okay. Now note that, I mean, though it is written like this, it is actually ja and ya. Right? So if you keep this in mind, then pronunciation, how to pronounce it should be clear. Right? So we have ja and ya. So nya, nya. So you start with the ja and mix it with nya, 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 yajnya, yajnya, ja and ya, yajnya. So or jnana, jnana. It is not just nya, it is not jnana, it is jnana. So many times you hear the pronunciation like yagya. Some people they pronounce it like gya, yagya. It's not yagya, yajnya, because nya has to be there. And then similarly jnana, pronounce it like jnana. It's not jnana, it's jnana, jnana. And then sometimes it sounds like the, na, and ya. And some people actually pronounce it like that also, like jnana, jnana, the, jnana. It is not jnana also. There is a ja there, and there is a ya, jnana. So in this table here, these are shown as consonants. These are not actually consonants. These are actual consonants are with the ka, kha, ga, where representation would be like this. With the Devanagari representation is with ja, with a slant line at the bottom, because they cannot be Vyanjanas cannot be pronounced by themselves. So we add a to it, each of them, for ease of pronunciation. Ka. Okay. Now, moving on to in the book, we'll skip this for now, Parichaya. We'll go to this Pada Parichaya. Okay. Look at this vocabulary a little bit. Yeah, anyone would like to read this? Yeah.
I can read.
Yeah.
Deepaha, Chashakaha, Styutaha, Dvichakrika, Asandaha, Chamasaha, Stalika, Darpanaha.
Okay, next on Pune.
Padatranam, Kunchika, Sanganakam, Kankatam, Gati, Sangmarjani, Mishrakam, Shaya, Shitakam, Duradarshanam, Bashpastali, Mudranayantram.
Uttama. So, some words here, some pictures are given, and what we call those objects. Deepaha, Chashakaha, Syutaha, Dichakrika, Asandha, etc. There. Just to keep in mind, not confuse you for now, but some of the words here, you see there is a visarga at the end, like Deepaha, there is a visarga, right? Asandaha, Chashakaha, these are ending in visarga. And some of them, like the Chakrika, there is A at the end, A. Like Sthalika. So why are they different? And if you look at some of the other ones here, like Padatranam, is ma at the end, Padatranam, Sanganakam, Kankatam, Mishrakam, and some other like E also then, T, Sammarjani. So these are the nature of the Sanskrit words. It can be having different endings in the word, in the Namapadam or nouns. Now, last time we looked, had a brief look at the declension table, right? Vibhakti table. So in that Vibhakti table, let me go here. Here. It's okay. Here. Looked at this briefly, Bhakti table. Ramaha. So what each Vibhakti line represents, declension represents, or in what sense it is used in a sentence. We had a brief look, looking at the one big sentence which is given in the book at the end. But here, right now, we are looking in this book here we are looking at the this one, first declension, first case, and singular, ekavachanam. So Ramaha, what that means, this is used as a subject in a sentence, or just to represent, or just to refer to the object or the thing in the world. So Deepaha means what? Lamp. So use the Deepaha to represent the lamp. That means the Prathama Vibhakti, what we call the first case, is called Vibhakti here. Case is called Vibhakti. So Prathama is first. Prathama Vibhakti, and then the Ekavachanam, the singular, so is used just to represent the object in the refer to that object. So we have all these object references here. Note that in Sanskritam, without a bhakti, we cannot use, without one of these forms, we cannot use the noun in the language. We cannot use without the form, one of these forms. Because you see here at the top here, Pullingarama, there is a base word, which is called base word or the raw word. This is a Vyakarana subject or grammar subject. In the grammar, every noun has a base word, or you can call it, think of it as a raw form, and then from there, all these different forms are derived. Now we cannot use the raw form or the base form in the language directly or in a sentence. Either it has to be one of these forms. So we are starting with this first case, singular form, to get to know about some of the objects here. So also in the slides also there were a few things, right? Here, Krushakaha, Rushabha, Lokaha, all these. There were some pictures here. Whereas this one, there are words here, but these are in the raw format. These, most of them at least. Except this one. Let me change this. 1 second. Okay, so here I have this is the raw format for Atma. So now all of them here, they are in the raw format. So these actually cannot be directly used in the language or a sentence or to refer to an object. So they have to be in the one of the cases out of 7 cases. So here these are different words for the objects. In the book also we are starting with these words. So okay, so now that was easy. Now let's go back to the first here. So let's introduce ourselves here. So when we introduce aham means I in English, aham. In the next word we'll use Ramesha. This aham, though it is written like this and pronounced like that with the anuswara, we know that aham Ramesha. That's how it should be actually pronounced, right? When it is anuswara, we do not, this writing and pronunciation is different. This is aham, whereas this is aham Ramesha. There is no pause between this saying Ramesha, Ra of Ramesha and Anuswara. It has to be continuous. Aham Ramesha. But for our purpose, we'll just pronounce here as Aham, just for the ease of pronunciation right now. So Aham means I. So here Aham, and you can say your Ramesha is the word here, or your name Ramesha. It was whatever name is there, you can pronounce it. Aham Rama. I am Rama, name of the person. So, and if you want to ask the question, who are you? Bhavan. So Bhavan stands for you, and which is written here. You, if it is a male, the other person is a male, and Kaha stands for who. Who are you? That are, that verb is silent here, is not necessary. Who are you? Unlike in English, we can't just ask who you. Who are you? So here are is silent. Bhavan Kaha. Kaha is who. Bhavan is you, if it is a male. If it is a other person is a male, female, then there has to be different word. What is that word? Bhavati. We are writing Bhavati. But if the other person you are asking, who are you? If the other person is female, then we'll use Bhavati. Ka. Now here you note that Kaha is changing to Ka, because it is female. Even the question word is changing. Here it is who. Who, both Kaha and Ka means who only, but the gender changes because the other person is actually female. So Bhavatam, Bhavan Kaha, Bhavati Ka. So both are changing here. Bhavan, Bhavati for female, you, standing for you, and Kaha, Ka for who in the Pullingam and Strilingam. Bhavati Ka. But note that Aham is not changing. Aham, whether it is female is answering. Aham Ramesha is male. Aham Rama female. Aham Malati female. So the Aham is not changing. It stands for I, because it is a pronoun. So whether it is used to refer to male or female, Aham, it means Aham only. Okay, so you can start, each one of you, starting from Mila beginning, what you can say. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to go through this. You get the idea. Any question?
Bhavati and Bhavatiyaha, you can use them interchangeably when you are asking?
No. This is just you.
Just you.
Bhavati is you.
Well, of course, Bhavatiyaha will be just Shashti Vibhakti. Okay.
Yeah, Bhavatiyaha is yours. Right? We'll take a look at that just right after this.
Oh, thank you, Mahavir.
Bhavati is just you. Who are you? Just saying this.
Oh, okay. Did you want me to read it, or?
Yeah, you can read it.
Okay. Aham Rameshaha. Aham Rama. Bhavan Kaha. Aham Ashokaha. Bhavati Ka. Aham Malati. Should I continue, or you want somebody else?
Yeah, you can continue.
Aham Shikshakaha. Bhavan Kaha. Aham Shikshakaha. Aham Chhatra. Bhavati Ka. Aham Shikshika. Bhavati Ka. Aham Chhatra.
So there in the first part, there were names. Who are you? Now here you can also say, what are you? Like what is the purpose? I am Shikshaka. What is Shikshaka means?
Teacher.
No, teacher. So again here Shikshaka, Shikshika. The lingam or the gender is changing. Gender of the word is changing. because it is
She's-
referring.
It's a
Shikshaka.
feminine gender.
Huh? Feminine, yeah.
Strilingam.
Lingam. The word lingam again refers to the lingam belongs to the word, not the person or the object itself. However, in this case, it is referring to the gender of the. It is corresponding to the gender of the person also, because as we saw last time, gender of the word. In case of moving living objects, then the gender of that living object, moving living object also becomes the gender of the word. So aham shikshakaha. Shikshakaha here referring to teacher, because it is a male teacher, so we have a shikshakaha. Now changing that shikshaka to shikshika, the shikshika becomes the strilinga word, female teacher. So aham shikshika. But aham is not changing, aham is as a pronoun.
Mahodaya, when you say the word shikshika in this case belongs to female, what are the cases where it not necessarily coincide with a female subject?
Again, if it is a moving living object, then it will coincide. It will coincide mostly. But there are cases when it doesn't. But if it is a non-living object or non-moving object that we saw, like for example, we don't know the gender, right? For example, if there is a table.
Yeah.
So we can call it Utpitika or just Pitika, Utpitika, or even the last Padaparichaya we saw with the Dvichakrika, which is a female gender.
Right. Actually, yeah, that is true, because we don't think of it as a female bicycle.
Yeah. Female Strilingam, bicycle. The Chakrika word is Strilingam.
Right. But the object doesn't really tell you it is a female.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But here, if it is a living object also, example, there are some exceptions like Mitram. I said Mitram is friend. Mitram is a Napusakalingam, which is a neuter gender for the word. But the actual friend could be male or female, doesn't matter. So I can even say Bhavan Mitram, means you are the friend, Bhavan Mitram or Bhavati Mitram. So the Mitram, the friend can be female or male. But the Mitram remains in the neuter gender.
Dhanyavad, Mahodaya.
Aham Chatraha, Aham Chatra. So here also we have Chatraha, Chatra, Chatra meaning student. So there is a Pullinga, Chatraha, and Strilingam. Strilinga Padam asti. Strilinga Padam, that is Chatra.
Acharya, I have a question. So, is there a general rule to determine the lingam of a word or a object or noun? Somewhere I read, correct me if I'm wrong, so any pure vowels, if the name ends with a pure vowel like a, I, u, that's the male, and if it is ending with a, I, u, that's female, and anything ending with is neuter. Is that correct?
Yes or no? No, that is not purely true. So, yeah, but the other, if you are talking about the word, right? Gender of the word.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, most of the words are like that. For example, for here, Chatra, what is it ending? Chatraha. Right? Chatraha. Ending in what? According to you, that what you read?
It is ending with visarga, but it's aha,
right? If you take out visarga,
right,
there is a. That is the raw format that we talked before, right? That is the, without the visarga is the raw form or the base noun. So here, chhatra ending in a, yeah, it is a pullinga word. And when there are many, let me say this one. There are no strilinga words ending in a. Raw, we are talking about base nouns, okay? Not this, not the nouns ending in case. So we'll have to think about the base nouns. Okay? So if the base noun, there are no base nouns, what we call pratipadikam. So the base noun in Sanskritam is called pratipadikam. Just for your reference. So because this we are going to come across this word many times. Though it is not necessary we utter this, we use this pratipadikam word to refer to base nouns, at least in the beginner level, but since you are all interested, and I think you are a bit ahead already, all of you. So pratipadikam refers to base noun. Okay. Base noun without a case ending. So there are no base nouns in Sanskritam for ending in a, like chhatra, rama, balaka, shikshaka. However, if the base noun or pratipadikam is ending in a, generally it could be strilingam, but there are also pullinga words ending in a, base words, okay, ending in a. So don't think that that's a universal rule, that if it is a, if it is ending in a, then it is a strilingam. That is not always true. Okay. There are pullinga words ending in a. And now next to E, Raswa E. Now Raswa is very common for both. There are male words, female words, sorry, not male words. Pullinga and strilinga words ending in base pratipadikams ending in E. Very possible. And now what about dirgha E? Yeah, there are both. Pullinga words are there, strilinga words are there, ending in dirgha E. But at least in the beginner level, most what you said, beginner level, the words which are taught at the beginners level, which are taught like this, which are taught means they are introduced like this, like dirgha, like malati we saw, for example, or in the pada parichaya we saw bashpasthali, right? That was dirgha. Those are strilinga words. So to keep it simple at the beginner level, such words are only looked at, that where dirgha, bashpasthali, these are strilinga words. However, there are other words ending in dirgha which could be pullinga. And similarly, all the words which we see at the beginner level ending in a, they are purposely selected to be strilinga words like chhatra, shayya, dichakrika, strilinga words. But there are other words ending in a which are pullinga. Now, similarly, u also, pullinga, strilinga, both are there. Now, what about napunsakalingam? You say ma, like padatranam, padatranam, gruham. These are napunsakalingam words. But again, that is again at the beginner level, it is said like that. It is ending in Note that ending in Gruham or Padatranam, that is a case ending word. So we should not, but here we are thinking about the base word, base noun, Pratipadikam. So there is no Pratipadikam and there are, but in this case, Padatranam is not a base word. Padatrana, that is also ending in a. That is the base word. So the base words which are ending in a could be Napunskalingam also, but their first case, that is Prathama Vibhakti, like Padatranam, becomes there. But that is not true for all the Napunsakalinga words in Sanskritam. There are Napunsakalinga words in Sanskritam which ends in first case with E also. There are other words also like Napunskalingam. And here we are talking only about the words ending in swaras like a, e, u. But there are other nouns, base nouns ending in vyanjanams. Like they could be ending in any vyanjanam, like ka, kha, whatever, cha, cha, ta, da, ta, tha, da, na, pa, anything. So those also have lingams. They have their own lingams. So how to know that? We don't know. I mean, by convention. Like last time I'm mentioning up. Like up is also. Did I say that here? In this class, right? Stealing a word. Right? So, like sampat. That is a stealing a word. But that ends in a vyanjanam. Like there is a word called dik. Dik. So, base word is dish there. Dish. Ending dish, base word is sh. Ending in sh. Like this sh. What is the sthanam for sh here? Ucharana sthanam. Dish.
Talu.
Talu. Sh. This is a Strilinga word. So there are different words, so like Pullinga words are there now. So those are, if you want to have a quick look later, you can have it here. Here. So again on the blog page, if you go to grammar tab at the top, so here there are words listed here. Ajanta Pullinga. Ajanta means ending in vowels, which is written here, right? Vowels. Ending in vowels. So Rama, Hari, Pati, these are the base nouns, and if you want to look at their declension table, you can open it and look at the declension table. What are the different case forms? You can open another one also. Hari, what is the form? We can take a look at here. Okay, so not this one. Hari, okay, Hari, like this. You can take a look at that, but this page itself gives you some idea. Like full masculine nouns and vowels are there. So you see here, Sakhi. Sakhi, this is a E ending in E. That's in Pullinga. This is ending in E, Pullinga. This is ending in Ru, Pullinga. This is ending in O, Pullinga. Three lingas are A, E, U, U, Ru. These are Strilinga. Similarly, we have Napunsakalinga. E, U, Ru. And then there is consonant ending ones, which are Pullinga Shabda, so which are given here. And then there is a Strilinga words, and there is a Napunsakalinga words. You see, Napunsakalinga words are also ending in all kinds of Vyanjana. Then the Sarvanama Shabda, pronouns. Pronouns, the one we are looking at is Aham, right? Right now we look at Aham. And also look at Bhavan, Bhavati, those. Where are those here? What is the base word for them? For the Aham, for example, what is the base word for Aham? If you are interested, Asmad Shabda. So that the Asmad is the base word for the Aham. So if you open this asmad, what is its declension? You can see here, table here. Aham, vayam, like this goes. One person, aham, I. So that is, I use aham. If there are two of us, I use avam. If there are many of us, we, then use vayam. So those are the different declension case forms we can use for. But base word is asmad here. The ending in the. It is actually ending in the. It's a vyanjana. Similarly, we have bhavat, bhavan, bhavati also. We have bhavat shabda. You open this. Bhavat, though it is sarvanama, it has a lingam. Here. Pullinga, it has a one form, and which goes like this: bhavan, bhavanta, bhavantah. But base word is the ending in the, and here bhavati. The base word itself is dirghayi bhavati, and that goes like this: bhavati, bhavatya, bhavatya. There is an alternate word for you also. There is this word bhavan, bhavati also, but there is an alternate word for you, which is the base word is yushmad. If you look at the form here, it goes like this. Here, tvam. So we can, for you, we can use tvam. This tvam has no gender. Unlike bhavan and bhavati, they have gender. Bhavat shabda, bhavat is the base word, and in pullinga it is the pullinga word. So it becomes bhavan is the first case, prathama bhakti, bhavan, etc. And the strilinga base word is bhavati. It becomes bhavati, etc. But now, if you do not like using this is another alternate form for you, which doesn't require gender. Just like aham. Aham doesn't change depending on the gender. Similarly, this tvam doesn't change depending on the gender. So we can use, so where we ask the question, who are you? Right? Who are you? We have the question, what are the question here? Bhavan kaha, right? That was the question, Bhavan kaha. There, instead of bhavan, we can use tvam. Tvam kaha. Or tvam ka. Instead of bhavan, we can use tvam, where the gender doesn't change. So bhavan kaha, tvam kaha, tvam ka. The answer would be aham ashoka, aham malati, aham rama. So those will be the answers, and aham and tvam do not change the gender, because it is the same form, whether it is pullinga or strilinga, tvam and aham. Yes, any question?
Mahodaya, I have a question. Yeah. You know, when you want to say who are you, as in when you want to know a person's name, and when you want to know what are you, as in you want to know the person's profession, you use the same questions? Bhavan kaha or... Okay.
It can be.
Thank
the
you.
answer could be like aham shikshaka, but if you really want to say technically what is your profession, then there is a different way of asking.
Okay, but this, it can stand for both, the same question.
Like
Thank
if
you.
somebody asks, who are you? I can say I am a teacher.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, next.
Excuse me,
sir,
sir, what about he or
Yeah.
she?
Sorry?
I have a question. Just like how you said, like tvam kaha, tvam ka. So we can also say tvam nama kim, tvam nama. I mean, it's okay. So we can replace tvam for bhavatah and bhavatyah.
Hold on. We'll come to that. Okay, next.
Okay, sure, sir.
What about he and she, sir?
He and she. Yeah, we'll take a look at those. Those are different words. Yeah. So yeah, let's get back to that. Yeah, people are interested in that. You are now. Okay. Here. Here. Parichaya. Let's say. Let's look at this. Here, let's say, question is bhavataha namakim. We are using bhavataha namakim. Here, note that this nama means name. Bhavataha means your. Kim means what. Bhavataha namakim. What is your name? That is silent here. Is the verb which is not needed. We can add, see, like for is, generally we can add the verb called asti. So note that this asti. So this is very handy. Asti can be used where there is a verb is, but it is not needed. It is understood. Bhavataha nama kim asti. We can use that. Kim asti. Asti means is. But we can skip it for now. It is understood. Bhavataha nama kim. So here bhavataha nama kim. Bhavataha means you are, and nama means name, and kim is what. Now bhavataha is the, now in the last page we saw bhavan. Bhavan, and as you see in the vibhakti table here, where did we? Bhavan here. Bhavan, vibhakti table, where is Bhavan? It is here, first case. Here, first case, Bhavan. And Bhavataha, where is Bhavataha?
And the Panchami.
Panchami is also there, Shashti is also there. So we are using the Shashti form, just remember. Panchami, we will see that later. But this is the Shashti, which means possessive form, possessive case. If some of you know this English grammar, possessive means belonging to somebody, belonging. Bhavataha means your, it belongs to you, right? Your. Bhavataha. And note that this is, what is the lingam of this word? Bhavataha or Bhavan. It is shown on the top here. Pullinga. Pullinga. So if the other person whom you are asking the question is a male person, then you can use this Bhavataha, because you know that the other person is Pullinga, is a male. So the word which is referring to that living, moving object has to be Pullinga. So we are using Bhavat Shabda, which is the root or the base noun, and we are using the different case forms of that noun. So if you ask Bhavan Kaha, who are you? Like that's who are you. There is no case, and there is a first case there, Bhavan. But if you want to ask what is your name, you can use this Shashti, which is possessive, your, belonging to you. What is the name belonging to you? Belonging means your. What is your name? Bhavataha nama kim. And similarly, if the other person is a female, you are asking a question, then you have to use this case here, this format, right? Shashti here. Bhavatyaha nama kim. Same meaning. What is your name? But in English there is no change in the gender. But in Sanskritam we will have to change the gender of Bhavatyaha. So here what happens? Bhavataha nama kim, what is your name? And Bhavatyaha nama kim, if the other person is a female. And the answer would be, this one jumps here, and answer would be Mama nama. So Mama is also Shashti Bhakti, the sixth case. Of what? What was the first case of this Mama? I, right? I. For I, what did we use? Which word?
Aham.
Aham. That was the first case. Aham. And it's the sixth case of this same Aham. Mama. Mama nama. You can add Suresha, Ramesha, or Suresha, Ramesha, Rama. And again, because Aham doesn't for the word itself doesn't have any gender, so you just keep mama. Just like it was aham rameshaha, aham rama. So here you can say mama nama rameshaha, mama nama rama. Bhavatyaha nama kim, mama nama sukmama. This any name is there, you can say Bhavatyaha nama kim. So Bhavataha, Bhavatyaha means you are. Bhavataha Pullinga Shabda, and Bhavatyaha Strilinga Shabda. And now the other question somebody asked, like Tvam can be used, right, for you, like Bhavat, Bhavan, Bhavati, right? Bhavan, Bhavati can be used for tu, you. If that other person is Pullinga, then you use Bhavan. If the other person is Strilinga, use Bhavati. Right? So let's make a list here. So list is Bhavan, Bhavati, and Tvam. So let's add Aham. Aham. Aham, Bhavan, Bhavati. So these are all in the first case. Means Aham means I, Bhavan means you, Bhavati means you, Tvam means also you. Right? So here Bhavan, you, when the other person is Pullinga, Bhavati, you, other person is Strilinga, Tvam, you, when other person could be anything, no gender. Aham also no gender. Now for Shashti Bhakti, for your or my, for Aham we use Mama, Bhavan we use Bhavataha, right? And Bhavati use Bhavatyaha, and Tvam we can use Tava. Again, depending on the gender, use Bhavataha or Bhavatyaha, but Mama, Tava, no gender. So though you, this all means you are only. All these last three words means you are. But if you want to be gender specific, you use Bhavataha, Bhavatyaha. If you don't need to use, if you use Tava, it's not gender specific, it could be any gender. So basically, when you ask Bhavataha nama kim, there you can also ask Tava nama kim. So the same thing. Now, any question here?
Thank you, sir.
Now, kim means what? Nama means name.
Mahodaya, Krishna, Asti. Kim, you are using it when you are using in a Shashti Vibhava, possessive case.
Huh?
And when we are asking Bhavataha in the Pradhama Vibhakti, we could say Kaha, right? Or Ka.
Bhavan Kaha.
Bhavan Kaha. So for the possessive case, Shashti Vibhakti, we are using Kim. So we don't use Kaha, right?
Yeah, but this kim is not Shashti Vibhakti. It is not related to Tava, right? This kim
no,
is
it's not related. It's just a question, right?
Yeah, it is a question which is related to Nama. We are asking what name is yours.
Okay, so it's connected to the okay.
It is connected to Nama.
Okay.
Because here the meaning is what name is yours. So what name? So that what name is, this kim is what? Connected to name. So we are asking what name is yours. It's not connected to Tava, Bhavatyaha, Bhavataha or Mama.
Okay, that makes it very clear.
Also note that this Nama itself, it has a lingam, it is an Apumsaka lingam. This.
I see. Okay.
and its base word is different. It is not this It looks like right here, nama.
Right.
But it is not. The base word is different. It is not.
Okay.
We'll come to that later. But right now, let's keep it.
Yeah. Thank you. Then you.
Any other question? This keeps changing around. Right.
So Asti.
Now you know now.
I have a question. Asti is and Astu is yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now you can ask question about asking the name. You can ask other person's name. Now you know how to ask the name. And probably many of you already knew, right? Some of you know. You already knew this. Mama, or what is bhavatyaha, bhavataha, right? So somebody, Ravi Mohoday, any question here? Vijanti, have you understood?
Yes, I have understood.
Okay. Good. So we finish this, then now we'll come to this one. Now we said mama nama and bhavataha nama. So we can also say, like, when we said mama nama, right? Mama nama bhavataha nama kim. This is bhavataha nama kim, what is your name? Bhavatyaha nama kim, what is your name? Or tava nama kim, what is your name? So we know the answer. We know the question. But the answer in this bhavataha, bhavatyaha, tava can also be used just to state somebody's name, right? The other person's name. Bhavataha nama Sureshaha, bhavatyaha nama Malati, or tava nama Ganga, tava nama Sureshaha. Something like that we can also use. This bhavataha, bhavatyaha, tava. Not only to ask the question, but you can use that to say somebody's name also. Bhavatyaha, bhavataha, and tava. Okay. Now, the next question is here, next page here, is etasya and tasya. So here we are introducing this he, she. Okay. Though as per this one, he, she, there is no exactly he, she here because it starts with the Shashti Bhakti. We can look at that, no problem. So just like we looked at aham and bhavan and bhavati and tvam. So we had this table here. What? Aham and tvam, bhavan, bhavati. These are used for I, you male, you female. Now, what about he, she? He, she, we have the words called saha. Saha for he, and for she we have sa. She. Okay. Now, if you want to note it down, they are in the book also. But if you want to note it down, like for your understanding, like take a note in the table, in the form of the table, we can. Like aham, tvam, bhavan, bhavati, and saha, sa for he, she, and then also we have eshaha and esha. they also means, if we can say this person or this, both mean this. And note that this is a pullinga word, and this is a strilinga word. Saha eshaha pullinga words, sa esha strilinga words. Now what is the difference between this saha eshaha, sa esha? For example, if a thing which we are talking, suppose a boy, there is a boy who is, we want to say he is a boy. He is a boy. Then we use saha. Saha, word for boy is balakaha. Balakaha. Saha balakaha. Saha balakaha. Then sa balika means she is the girl or that girl. Sa balika. Balakaha balika. Saha balakaha, that boy. Sa balika, that girl. But for this we use eshaha, this boy. Eshaha. Eshaha balakaha. Eshaha balakaha. This boy. And this girl. Esha balika. In English, when we say this, this boy, boy is the noun, and what is this, the word this? What is its relationship with the boy?
So this is an adjective here.
Adjective. So this, that, if we say that boy, so this word and that word, those are the adjectives for the other word, the boy. So this boy, in this case, this word is an adjective to the boy. So here, when you say eshaha balakaha, balaka is a pullinga word, right? Balakaha is a pullinga word. So eshaha, which is its adjective, has to be in the same lingam. This is a universal rule in Sanskritam, that for a noun, if we are using an adjective, it has to be in the same lingam. Eshaha balakaha. That's why we are changing that bhavatyaha, bhavati, bhavatyaha, bhavataha also there. But anyway, so that will come back to that later. So here, you see here, saha balakaha. Saha is a pullinga word because balaka is a pullinga word. Sa is a strilinga word because balika is a pulling word. So we are changing the saha, sa, eshaha, esha as per the other word, because this saha, sa, eshaha, esha, they are the adjectives for the main word. Okay, saha balaka, sa balika, esha balaka, esha balika. Now, if you go back to the Bhakti table, let's see, that eshaha, esha, the root word for them, for eshaha, root word is etad, and saha, root word is tad. So if you want to see their entire Bhakti table, you can refer to this. For example, let's go to etad. As you see here, etad is the root word based on, in Pullinga it has these forms. In the first case it is saha, so we say saha balakaha. And if you want to say now you know, like for example, in the last page we studied, mama nama, tava nama means my name, your name. Now if you say his name, then what do we do here? Which case do we use? Mama, tava, they were the sixth case, right? Here, your, his name, for that
Tasya?
tasya. Shashti but the same. It's a possessive shashti, that tasya nama, something. Tasya nama. But no
Tasya nama kim? Tasya nama kim?
Tasya nama kim. What is his name? Answer could be Tasya nama Rameshaha. Note that the Tasya is we are using the Pullinga word here, right? Pullinga form of this word, so that the other person whose name you are asking has to be actually male person. Tasya nama kim means that person whose name is you are asking, that person has to be Pullinga. If it is Strilinga, then you have to use that other Strilinga form of this word. Yes, Strilinga form is just here, following here. This Pratama Sa, we just saw that. Sa Malati. We know that Sa Malati means she is Malati. Now, if you want to ask the name, you can use this Tasyaha. There is a slight difference, right? So if you look at the Shashti of Pullinga, it is Tasya, and Shashti of Strilinga, it is Tasyaha, right? Yeah. Tasyaha. Tasyaha nama kim. So instead of, if you want to ask your Strilinga, you can use Bhavatyaha nama kim. That means what is your name? Strilinga. The person has to be Stri. And then if you want to ask what is her name, then you can use Tasyaha. Tasyaha nama kim. Tasyaha nama whatever, Yamuna, Narmada. Tasyaha nama something. Tasyaha nama Sita. Okay. Not Panchami, sorry, Shashti. I should take this one, Shashti. Okay. Tasyaha. Now, Esha. Now, whereas Tasya means her, and Tasya means her, Tasya means his. What is this person's name? This person, or this, for that we use that Eshaha, right? Eshaha, this person. Esha means that, not actually, this person only, but Strilinga. So, Shashti of this Esha will become, just add A here. Etasya and Etasyaha. Etasya nama kim means what is the name of this person? Male person. Etasya nama kim. Etasyaha nama kim. What is the name of this? Stri. Etasyaha nama kim. What is the name of this person? Who is Stri. Then we can answer Etasya nama Ramaha. Etasyaha nama Sita. Something you can reply the same way. Same thing is shown here in the book also. Here we are using Etasya nama Rameshaha, Tasya nama Ashokaha. So somebody can read this. Rajwal Mahade can read this.
Yes. Etasya nama Rameshah, Tasya nama Ashokah. Etasya nama Sureshah, Tasya nama Samirah. Etasya nama Maheshah, Tasya nama Ganeshah. Etasya nama Suma, Tasya nama Rama. Etasya nama Girija, Tasya nama Lata. Etasya nama Malati, Tasya nama Nalini.
So here we are just talking about the name. When we proceed further, we will keep on expanding this to other context. Any questions so far? So again to summarize, like let's see here. What is the word for I?
Aham.
Aham.
What is the word for you?
Tvam.
Bhava. Bhavati.
Bhavam bhavati.
Tvam. Bhavan bhavati. And what is the word for my?
Mama.
Mama.
Ma.
Your.
Bhava.
Tvam. Bhava.
Or bhavatah pullinga and strilinga
Bhavatya.
tyaha. And what is the word for he?
Saha.
She.
Sa.
And what is the word for his?
Tasya.
Isha.
Esha.
This is Eshaha in Pullinga, and this person in Strilinga is Esha. And the word for his is Tasya. Word for her or hers is
Tasyaha.
Tasyaha. And word for of this person in Pullinga is Etasya. And word for of this person in Strilinga is
Etasyaha.
Etasya. These are the different words. Now, when we say this and that, this person, sorry, Esha is this person and Saha is that person, basically it indicates the proximity relative. And when we say Saha Purushaha, Saha or Saha Purushaha or Saha Balakaha and Eshaha Balaka, Saha Balaka, Esha Balaka. So we are saying that boy, this boy. So what is the difference here? When we use this and that,
When we address somebody far away, is Saha.
yeah,
And somebody that is closer, like next to you, you say is Isha.
yeah, and that closeness is again relative in how we perceive it. It's not exactly measurable how far one should be. It's just what we want to say, what we experience. So here, also this is indicated by this hand, length of the hand. Tasya is close and Tasya is far. How far, how close, that again one depends on the speaker. How, just like any other language, it is not hard and fast. Okay. So here in the third lesson we are here, Eshaha, Saha are introduced here. Some examples are here, so which we already saw, Eshaha Balakaha, Saha Shikshakaha. These are some words with Eshaha and Saha. Ravi Mahoday asti kim? Ravi Mahoday, are you there? Can you hear me?
Me? Yes.
No, Ravi. There is somebody called Ravi. He's on mute. I think he's mute. Alright, so yeah, somebody can you read this? Who wants to read this? Say Pune.
एषः बालकः सः शिक्षकः सः शिक्षकः एषः वैद्यः सः छात्रः एषः छात्रः एषः गायकः सः आरक्षकः एषः पाचकः सः कृषिकः एषः वृद्धः सः धावकः.
So here in this on this page, along with introducing this Eshaha Saha, which are pullinga words, Eshaha Saha, and their adjectives, and the other main noun will also be in the pullinga. Along with that, there are some more words are introduced for your knowledge. That we had seen this Balakaha, Balaka, maybe first time. Balaka means boy, Shikshakaha, we already know, the teacher. Vaidyaha, doctor. Chhatraha, with the Chhatraha, student. Gayakaha, singer. Arakshakaha, policeman in this case, one who protects. And then Pachakaha is one who cook. And Krushikaha, farmer. And Ruddhaha, old. And Dhavakaha, runner. So these words have been introduced here, so just be familiar with those words and try to use them in your sentences where possible. And the next page, introducing the Strilinga form, right? Esha Balika. Okay, so Shiva Shri Bhagini, can you read this?
Yes. Esha Balika, Sa Shikshika, Esha Vaidya, Sa Chhatra, Esha Gaika, Sa Nartaki.
So,
yeah.
These are the Strilinga words introduced here with the Esha. Esha and Sa. If you close, use Esha. This way, use Sa. Then similarly, Esha Vaidya. Now note that Vaidyaha was there previously. Previously, Vaidyaha was there for the male doctor, and we are changing it to Vaidya, female doctor. Chhatraha, Chhatra, and Gayakaha, Gayika. And Nartaki is the new word here. If it is a pullinga, we use Nartakaha, Nartaki. So now the next is the Napunsakalinga section coming here. What is the Napun? That. This, that only. But if it is a Napunsakalinga word or the neuter word here. So here there are two words. Etat, tat. It should be simple. Just like using Eshaha, Saha. We use Etat, tat if the main noun is Napunsakalinga. So Pustakam, for example here. Vijanti, can you please read this?
Yes, sir. Etat pustakam, tat parnam, etat griham, tat pushpam, etat phalakam, tat phalam.
So here the pustakam, parnam, graham, pushpam, phalakam, phalam, these are all neuter words. Words are neuter, though the objects also seem to be neuter here, but there could be other words in Sanskritam to refer to the same objects which could be in different lingam. For example, here pustakam is used for a book, but there could be a word, there is a word called granthaha, which is again a composition like that. So it can be used for this book also, granthaha. That is a pullinga word. So if it is a pullinga, then we can't use etat. And how do we say that? If it is a granthaha, let me write here. Granthaha. So in place of etat, what should we use? This book.
Eshaha.
Eshaha granthaha or saha grantha, if it is that book. Saha granthaha. But if you are using pustakam, which is a neuter word, we know that it is a neuter word. How do we know that? Because it's a convention. Because the base word is pustaka. Looking at the base word, we don't know if it is a neuter or not. But in the usage, it has come as a neuter, and its first case will be pustakam. Pustakam, that is a neuter format. Similarly, paranam, pushpam, graham, phalakam, phalam. Last time, I'll stop here today.
Acharya, I have a question. So, parnam, is there a male-female word as well for a leaf?
I don't remember. There is a patram is there. That is also Napunskalingam. Male, female, I don't remember. Maybe there. Yeah. So. And the Shashti Vibhakti, the sixth case for these etat tat will be same as the Pullinga Shashti. What is the Pullinga for your for his or her? For his, not Pullinga, not her. Pullinga, his. What is the word for his name?
Tasya.
Tasya, etasya. For if it is tat, it is tasya and etasya. Then if it is a Pullinga or Napunsakalinga, Shashti Vibhakti, sixth case form, word form remains the same. There is no change. If it is Pullinga tasya etasya or Napunsakalinga etasya tasya, we use the tasya only. There is no change that. So when we say, if you are, suppose there is a book lying near you. So if somebody wants to ask, what is the name of the book? Then we'll say, etasya nama kim. What is the name of that? Of book we'll see later. What is the sixth case of pustaka? But if you just want to say, what is the name of that? But we know that that thing which is lying there is a book, and that book is an Napunskalingam. Then we'll use the same form, that etasya or tasya nama kim. Means you are referring to the book. You want to ask what is the name of that. And then you can point your finger and ask, tasya nama kim. Etasya nama kim. Though that book, big book is neuter, etasya tasya form remains same. If you look at the see here Napunsakalinga, right? Same Napunsakalinga. What are the forms here? Prathama, first case it is tat, which we saw, tat and etat. But if you see Shashti, it remains tasya, which is same as the this Pullinga tasya. Pullinga also, Shashti is tasya only. So there is no difference in the other cases. Only this first and second case, they are different between the Pullinga and the Napunsakalinga. If you see other forms, other cases will remain same for Pullinga and Napunsakalinga. So that is one thing which makes it easy for us to remember these tables between Pullinga and Napunsakalinga. Only first and second cases are different, all other cases remain same. For Strilinga, there will be differences in the table, in the forms there. Now, any questions so far before we stop? Last time, or sometime back, last class or before that, what is phalam, phalakam? If you just add ka, then it meaning it changed from fruit to board. Right? Phalam, you have the fruit, and phalakam, you have the board there. So does it become like that? Yes, many times it becomes. But now but the underlying meaning remains same here. See, if you go deeper into this etymology, phalam is actually something which is the result, or after resulting it expands. This phalam is expanding the pushpam. Before it is a flower, and flower turns into fruit by expansion. Right? Is there a better word in English? it expands and turns into fruit. Similarly, Phalaka is the expansion, or it's a wide format. So they are related etymologically, Phalam and Phalakam. Just in case you are interested. How are they related, Phalam and Phalakam? Just by adding ka, it becomes a board. And in fact, actually, this for both, like for board also we can use Phalam, and for fruit also you can use Phalakam. It's not necessary that we stick to this Phalam and Phalakam. Just to keep that in mind. So though generally nowadays these words are popular, Phalam means fruit, Phalakam means board. However, they are related and they can be used interchangeably.
Acharya, I have a question.
Hmm.
Just to clarify, so going back to the alphabet, so this fa that we are using, is it, there is no letter called fa, right? This is
Yes.
pa.
Pa. Pa. There is no letter like in English, father.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is fa. In Sanskritam, that is not, in alphabet charts, it's not recognized. We just have pa. Yeah, so yeah, just bear it because sometimes I pronounce it as fa, which is not correct because I'm used to that now here. It is Phalakam. Pa. Okay, so we'll stop here today and we'll meet next week. Dhanyavada.